Anti-Afro Spengalis, I'm coming back on here to give everyone more detail about what happened with this block party situation. I needed to make sure it was made absolutely clear how this all came about. And I'm shouting out again our three anti-fraud warriors, one from Philly, one from Wilmington, and one from Dover. And they have been on the JOB. And let's put it out there right out front, people. It was anti-fraud warriors that made this block party happen. Don't get it any way pretzel twisted, contorted. We made this block party happen. And Umar Johnson even admitted it, people. He knew we were on it. And let me explain something. I stated in the video very clearly, go back and listen to the videos that I have done. I've done a couple of videos on this block party. Anti-fraud warriors has never been, ever, in any way, shape, or form about cutting off, disrupting, stopping, impeding anything legal. And I stated it in the video. If Umar Johnson gets the permits, he gets the permits. We are not about disrupting a legal event. The whole issue with Umar Johnson is his illegality, all of the bullshit and all the fraud. So if Umar Johnson was going to pull off a block party, if we had something to do with it, it was going to be legal. He was going to have to comply. And that is what we did. We are tired of Umar Johnson using the abandoned bomb shelter as a personal piggy bank. He started out not even intending to do this block party because you heard all of the things that he stated he was going to have. We knew Umar didn't put all of that stuff on that block party permit, people. We knew. And let's say that he did. Let's say that Umar did. He can change his mind. And I even stated it in the video. When you do things like block parties, rarely do they hold you to the strict timelines. 2 weeks, 30 days, they give you leeway. Even if it's not COVID, they know things happen. But Umar knew we were on it. Even the anti-fraud warriors had told me that the people from the city were just going nuts because they're getting all these phone calls. Umar knew the pressure was on. So let's make it clear. People can post any kind of video they want. They can talk shit about me and all the other anti-fraud warriors who they don't even freaking know. They can try to trash Rev G and say that he bought a new car and all these lies. When it comes down to it, we are the ones that are able to get Umar Johnson to comply. Comply or do not engage in the activity. And we've had success in many areas. The goal has always been, do what you do, but don't have it involving fraud with our people. That's what we are about. And Umar has embarked upon a whole legacy, if you will, of finding any kind of way he can pull off a scam using fraud. Number one, he perped into my profession. And people are up here telling me I don't have anything to say about it. I have everything in the world to say about it. If you're making money off of claiming that you're a mental health professional and what you're telling the community is downright dangerous, that can cause serious harm or death, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to speak on it because Umar is doing it to try to get revenue. If you're standing out in front of an abandoned bomb shelter and you are criticizing and verbally abusing our people because they're not giving you money, and when you look up the address of this location and it says MoneyGram service, it doesn't say school, that's because the activity that Umar is engaged with is collecting money. It's not providing a service. Whoever said, there was a video posted, of course, Max V lies through his teeth. He's got to put my name in the title. He says I was trying to stop the block party. How am I trying to stop the block party when we are simply stating if he's going to have the block party, he has to do it legally? Legally. That is what anti-fraud warriors are about, not stopping. And Umar Johnson all he knows how to do is try to find ways to illegally gain money from our people. And what do we get in return? Nothing. When he was running those, what was it, those tele-abuse sessions, he was verbally abusing the parents and telling them things that are very dangerous, ridiculing them because they won't go out into a snowstorm with 5 children to go and see him at a community center.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cedar Hill.
Cedar Hill. Cedar Hill, Texas?
Yes.
How far is that from Dallas?
I think about like maybe 20, less than 20 miles away from Dallas.
You coming to the lecture today?
I really wasn't. I'm not going to lie because I just found out.
So I came all the way to Dallas and you ain't going to come out to support me. It's okay. And all the children are free. So tell me why she not coming with her 5 kids.
Children, create a calendar. The parents have to be disciplined.
So you thinking about homeschooling, right?
Well, it's not actually for myself. It's for my daughter. She has 5 children.
Your daughter got 5 children and she won't be at the lecture today. Is that what you telling me? She got 5 babies. And the only school psychologist helping y'all is 20 minutes from your house and y'all not going to come out. I'm only picking on you because I want people to see how sometimes I don't know if we serious about things. Because I'm 20 minutes away from y'all. She got 5 kids. And you calling into the parent conference, but I'm 20 minutes away from your house. And she's not coming to get the information she needs today. I got a little bit of a problem with that as a parent of 5 children. I got a little bit of a problem with that. But let me...
Okay, listen, of course, me being a mother, I'm going to be in defense of my child. She didn't even know you were here.
But y'all know now. And all the children are free. And all the children are free. So tell me why she not coming with her 5 kids today. First 10 years of speaking publicly from 2000 to 2010. The first 10 years. And this is the second years, 2010 to 2019. I never charged for 10 years. I charge now to offset the expenses. Okay. And it is a sacrifice. And so when I talk to you and you tell me that you live 15 minutes from this venue that I'm paying the rent, Texas theater is not cheap. Texas theater is not cheap to rent it. Texas theater is not cheap. And you call and you have a question, but you live 15 minutes away from where I'm speaking at. And your children are free, the elders are free, and you're not going to come, but I just flew several hundred miles. Okay, probably more than 1,000 miles I flew. I woke up early from my Washington lecture, drove 3 hours to Philly, barely making the flight. I had a 6-hour layover in Atlanta yesterday because the flight got delayed. Okay, I didn't get here till late last night. And you're 15 minutes away and you rather call and get a question answered than come and hear me when all your children are free and you got 5 of them. You got 5 babies. I'm the only black school psychologist who's doing what I'm doing in this country. And you won't even drive 15 minutes, even though I've flown multiple hours and spent X thousands of dollars to make this event happen. I don't get profit on these events. Once in a while, I get a profit. At best, they pay for themselves. Many times, even when I sell out, it's a financial loss because I take care of the people around me. So that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that we're closing out this period of my life. The lecture period, where I just intensely lectured, is coming to a close because that shows how much a lot of you don't value my work.
Badgering people and then demanding that they give him money, making them feel guilty. Give you money for what? Because somebody won't go out in a snowstorm with 5 children? And then when a mother gets on the line, you start badgering her because her daughter, 5 grandchildren, don't want to brave a snowstorm to go out and see him where he can go and beg for more money from them? No. Anti-fraud warriors know how to get the job done, and Umar Johnson knows it. We know how to get Umar Johnson in compliance, and we were able to do that. And let's talk about something else. Somebody had mentioned, which something we would never do, anti-fraud warriors. We would never send somebody out to an event who is known by face to anybody. because this was the plan. I guess I can go ahead and say this. If Umar got the permits, why would we send anybody there? There'd be no reason. Okay, here's a scenario that we had planned. Umar gets the permits, which happened. There is no reason for us to send anybody out there. There were 3 people that were going to go, and he wouldn't know who they are. He would not have known them. He got the permits. There's no point of us sending anybody there. Say that Umar didn't get the permits, then there would be every reason for us to send someone there, because in order to have an illegal event ceased, you have to have eyewitnesses. And no, they were not going to be disruptive in any way. But we're not going to be sending someone out there. Why would we do something like that? If the event is legal, it's sanctioned, there are no issues with the city, we are not going to send someone out there to go into the crowd and do what? I mean, there's no point. That's anti-fraud warrior stance. We do not interfere with legal activities. Now, when you talk about all these hyena yelps that Umar Johnson was going on, how he got into the hyena yelps was through trickery, deception, and lies. Still that, we were not going out there to disrupt. I cannot tell you how many times we have been requested to show up at Umar Johnson hyena yelps. Why would we go to Umar Johnson hyena yelps? No interest whatsoever. So these people out here who are trying to say that we were trying to disrupt, we weren't trying to disrupt anything other than an illegal activity if it went down. And it wouldn't have been us that would go and tell Umar Johnson, shut this down. No, it would have been verified that the event was going on and the authorities would take care of it. The woman on the line, I can't remember the last day we spoke to her. I posted a video on it. She stated if a person doesn't get the permits in, then they would notify the authorities. They still have a way of notifying the authorities. That's not something that we would do as far as the official notification. But if we were aware he didn't have the permits, then as a citizen of that city, they can call. And that's what they were going to do, because it would not have been safe. It would not have been safe to have an event where you have vendors that were not cleared by the city. We have a right to do that. And people want to talk about it's messing up someone's money. What if somebody died when they ate the food? That has happened. That has happened with people who have licenses. And people want to act like they're so concerned about our people. They're not concerned. They just want to be in the mix where there's trouble and argument and angst going on. Do they even care about the people out there? No. We went the legal route. We made sure Umar Johnson complied. And Umar Johnson needs to be complying with a whole bunch of things. That's what we are about. Because if he's not complying with what he needs to comply with, he's putting people at risk. Taking people into that building? Are you serious, people? Where the floors, the concrete's coming up, and you have vermin all in there, rats and roaches and dead birds, dead animals, and feces coming out of the toilet. This is a sanitary place to take elderly persons and children through there. And people want to complain that we're doing what? We're stopping Umar from doing what when he's taking people through a building that didn't have any lights? And he's talking about perverted notions about children, and he's got to take off their underwear and wash them. We're the ones that have a problem? No, it's Umar Johnson that has the problem. And you have those females up there endorsing all this garbage. We are the ones, anti-fraud warriors. This is why I was telling all of you who keep complaining, why are you not putting more Umar Johnson videos? We're doing work offline. That's what people don't want to understand. They don't care to listen. That's fine. Let them think what they want to think. But we have been working on this in other projects. And we will be coming back and giving you more information about what those projects are. You have an outcome. It was successful. Umar Johnson complied with the law. How many times has Umar Johnson complied with the law? When it comes to the abandoned bomb shelter, can you count the ways? Well, let me tell you, folks, hardly none, because he has not paid a single cent on the vacant building fees. And there he is taking people through this building. Well, that's another issue. That's another issue that will be dealt with. He hasn't paid much of the taxes? The vast majority of the taxes have not been paid. Yet he wants to come on the airwaves and say he's opening a school, demanding money, guilting our people if they don't give the money, ridiculing people. And this goes on and on and on and on. Have a clue, my friends. You cannot have classes in a gymnasium that is not legal. You don't have the proper ventilation to have classes in a gymnasium. So Umar is focusing on the gym for what? The floor is a hazard. You can't play sporting events on a gym floor where you have upheaval. You can't even have a temporary setup in the gymnasium. And if you did, you would have to cordon off that area that has the defect on the ground or the floor, however you want to put it. You'd have to cordon it off so people would know they shouldn't walk inside that space. So Umar puts all this stuff up here for everybody to see, to say, look, we're making progress. Send me money. That's the only reason why he's doing it. And he knew the pressure was on. Umar knows who he needs to worry about. And those are the people that he mentions. Those are the people he goes around and says we need to be taken out and go to their houses. Those are the people names he's mentioned and swears that we work at places we don't work. And then you have these other fools picking up on it. We need to stay on this because as time continues to pass, more and more of our people are being subjected to what Umar Johnson insists he has a right to do. Siphon money out of our communities and nothing's going to happen. You can't possibly say that you're serious about opening a school when you have all these trips planned around the US and the world. You're not focused on a school because you don't care. He used this as a springboard, as a fundraising, as a personal fundraising springboard. And he got wind of the fact that we were going to hold him accountable for what he is saying, and he stepped to it. Are we crying and screaming and hollering and complaining? No, we are victorious because we were able to get Umar Johnson to comply with the law. That is the bottom line. We have so much more we can say about this experience. It's been very interesting. We've been doing a lot of work, and thank our anti-fraud warriors from Wilmington, from Dover, from Philly, who Umar Johnson has no idea what they look like. They can show up at any time, at any place, but they are never going to do that to disrupt anything. That is not what we are about. We are legal, we are law abiding, and we are about our people being treated fair, just, and most definitely encouraging everyone to heed the warning. Buyer beware.